Hey Sages, and welcome to your February 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And wow, Sages, I'm really excited for what's coming forward for you. February is kind of truly an incredible month for you guys. Despite it maybe not feeling perfectly easy, you can really take some time back here, I feel, because ultimately you're bringing to light and sort of birthing into the world your new catalyst energy. I'm really happy to see the chariot as your central theme this month. Finally getting some progress, finally getting some turnover, finally seeing a difference, at least becomes generated here, because your energy is kind of hard to articulate. While February tends for everyone else to be a month of letting go, a month of endings as we prepare to move into March equinox on March 21st, which is the true kind of new year energy, not so much in January. So for everyone other than you, Sag, February tends to be a month of letting go and endings. And it does kind of in a way have to be that for you too. But you have a lot of cards which demonstrate new beginnings and new favors and progress. So it feels like perhaps integrating those ideals, being able to progress towards an ending, being able to progress towards an ending phase of your life, letting go of addictions, letting go of habits which no longer serve you, stepping into a place where you're accepting that you can reach the goal, finding the new aspirations, and sort of planning this out and generating it here in February. I feel is the main goal for Sagittarius energy and is a really healthy place for Sagittarius energy to be. A lot of you can have some really beautiful, wonderful, energetic surprises this month. We're coming back from a lot. The whole cycle of March 2017 to March 2018 has been very earth-shattering, but also enlightening and illuminating, and just very dramatic and polarized for Sagittarius. So that cycle is now ending here. You know, you have the devil reversed in your reading. You're seeing through the cycle. You're seeing through the emotional constraints that you may have placed on yourself or may have experienced through someone else. You also have the hermit reversed in your reading, so it's kind of like you're seeing through the solitude as well, no longer needing all this time in like desolate void space to heal your wounds. February is a month where maybe for the first time the wounds feel healed, but it might be also hard to get physical validation of that because everyone else other than Sag is kind of in a space of healing their wounds. So it might still be into March before you're seeing some really powerful changes. But for a lot of you, though, you're going to see it here in February. You're going to see people looking at you differently. You're going to see yourself being more magnetic, having more luck, having more beautiful celebratory type of experiences, and meeting wonderful people too. I feel that Sag is having nice experience with water signs and earth signs in general. You've got all of this King and Queen of Cups, beautiful to see together like that. You have King of Pentacles upright. Some general nice court energy coming in. Also, seeing through the 5 energy as well. You know, that 5 of Pentacles reversed. So you've maybe figured out how to budget yourself better, found some more faith, found more resolutions and solutions to any feeling of poverty, whether it be spiritual or physical, in your experience. So overall, Sages, I see you coming into new expansion and new psychic ability as well as becoming more confident with your appearance, more confident with your presence. Beautiful month, but the only thing is, Sag, in February is you might not get validation of it. Yep, that's the thing. The change is happening within you. The change is happening in your cells, but just due to the time of year that it is, it might not seem that way on the outside world, but it will in March, especially in April. Like, I feel like April is an incredible month for Sagittarius. Once we really get past that equinox energy and get strongly placed into Aries time, I see you really flourishing and shining brightly then. But that is through what happens here in February and the progress that you make in the internal level and beneath all the layers. So anyway, without further ado, Sag, I'm going to get into the week to week with your reading, and we can get some more messages specifically about your timeline. So in the first week of February, Sagittarius, you have King of Cups rooted down by Queen of Cups. Emotional evolution within you. I don't interpret this as other people at all. For some of you, it might be. But that is such a nice type of just a universal acknowledgement coming in. Like the emotional damage that happened to you over this whole Saturn and Sagittarius transit over like 2016 and 2017. You get it now. Like, you connect the dots. I feel like this calibration, the Rubik's Cube clicking about emotions and about your emotional presence as a person. Maybe you finally understand why things ended the way you did. Maybe you finally give yourself closure. Maybe you finally understand why you had to feel the way that you did and how that's helped you to become magnanimous in your emotional presence. Overall, Sag, understanding the water element more. So for those of you Sagittarius who have a lot of water in your chart, you also have Knight of Cups there as well, close by. So understanding what water is and how it sort of fills up the space, how it's not an increase of abundance in the way that fire or even air is. It slowly sometimes fills up, and over time it becomes full and almost overwhelming. So sort of understanding how the water element is working within you, how your emotions have filled the void over the time, and the evolutions and resurgences which have happened within you, and sort of focusing on it, seeing it, and seeing like almost the kaleidoscope experience that comes from that. I feel that a lot of you will see your past and see your experience sort of projected out in front of you in February, sort of get to view it and get comfortable with it, and then ultimately be able to walk through it, past it, and start to generate a new wonderful experience of life for yourself. But the first week of February is where that happens, Sag. Really give yourself a bit of solitude, a bit of time for meditation and regeneration, and time to acknowledge the evolution which is happening at a very subtle level within yourself. Listen to the universe, be out with the stars and see what they tell you. Listen, like if you can get by the ocean, that would be incredible. Plan a beach vacation or something, being by water one way or another, even if it's just fresh water like a lake or something, and hydrating yourself, just really, and maybe like hot baths or a sauna or a spa experience would be beautiful in the first week, just to really understand water and to listen to the messages it has to tell you. So second week, Sag, is Knight of Cups reversed, rooted down by Five of Pentacles reversed. You know, when you have this type of emotional expansion, when the dots really start to connect, when the calibration becomes so clear and abundant, it is obviously going to highlight and clarify the times where it was not so clear. So what I feel that this energy can be is a bit of like regret, guilt, or shame. And you don't need to stay there for very long. Once you realize other people's intentions, and more importantly, realize your own intentions of the past, you may start to realize like where you messed up, where you went wrong, and perhaps even have this desire to like go back in time and fix it, or to like reach out to people from the past. Perhaps some of you reached out to people from your past in January, and just now you could be getting that closure here in February, or you've given it to yourself. But it does feel like that can open a can of worms as well. Like you can understand where you really went astray, or where you really didn't do well. But you have to also remember, Sag, that you're human. Sometimes Sag forgets this, like, you know, you're Jupiter ruled, so your consciousness kind of rises above human consciousness really often. And you sometimes can be really hard on yourself in that way, where you're like, oh my gosh, I acted like a human, how ridiculous. Remember your humanity in the second week of February, Sagittarius. Remember that you, through your mistakes and doing what you can, you know, if you need to apologize to someone, the second week of February feels like a good time to do it. Some of you have already done that and attempted to make closure. All you can do, Sag, is apologize or repent in your way, and make your sort of goals for the future to not make the same version of that mistake, and then you just have to move on. You can't allow yourself as Sagittarius to get really stuck in the past, and I feel like that's the only danger of the first half of February. It's also feeling like there could be a lack in faith for some of you. I feel like you need to redefine your faith. You need to redefine what you're faithful in. For me, Five of Pentacles has been coming up a lot lately, and for me, even more than lack of money, although it can be that as well, it deals with lack of faith, and knowing that the faith is right there, like those people in the Five of Pentacles, the warm church window is right there. They could go in and they could acknowledge their faith, but they would rather stay out in the cold to almost kind of get one over on faith, or to be bigger than God, or to be bigger than the universe, and prove that they don't need the universe to survive. So your survival and themes on survival are coming up in the second week of February, and it would be nice, Sag, to like find some kind of faith, and maybe even not necessarily something that's predetermined. Sagittarius can be a bit like religiously fanatical sometimes, or spiritually fanatical. So finding faith within yourself, and also studying religion can be good as well, or whatever your religion is. Again, gaining more strength with that can really give you a lot, and finding the faith in it, again, perhaps innovating your connection to your faith, faith feels really important in the second week of February. Third week, Sagittarius, you're kind of out of that. I feel like you do what you need to do there. The Devil reversed, you're down by 6 of Wands. So appearances are not perhaps what you want them to be. I feel like self-esteem problems or self-concept problems. Six of Wands deals with how we come off and how we look to other people, where we're gaining our confidence, how our appearance inspires and motivates us. And then the Devil reversed, holding that up. It's like, despite how beautiful you are, or how incredible you are, it's not enough. There's something that's not enough. And I also feel that Sages are accomplishing more towards their appearance goals than they have in a long time, but through actually accomplishing some, it's like fueled an insatiability or a need to have too much. It could also be like wanting too many changes in general, not just with your appearance, but it does come off on the appearance for sure, but like new cars, new houses, new physical items which validate this cycle of addiction or dependency. I feel like shopping addictions or money cycles there too, especially with Five of Pentacles nearby. I'm connecting through, like, I feel like a shopping or buying, which makes you feel more confident, which feeds into this cycle. So definitely finding faith in something that's not so tangible is important. And you can also reintroduce like new things into your appearance. Like I feel like new skincare, even like cosmetic procedures, if that's something that's right for you, can be good right now, as long as there's something more to it, as long as there's something more to you than that. It's not so good if, I don't know, say you have like, you don't like your nose or something and you want to get like a nose job or something. It's not so good to finally be emotionally healthy after the nose job and not have been able to have that before the nose job. And of course, that's just a hypothetical, but you can apply that to anything. Like, for example, maybe if you get like a promotion or something and you make more money than you ever have, it's important to not feel emotionally satiated because of the promotion. Whereas had you not got it, you would have just never been stable. It's not so good for these small things, or like things which don't actually have to do with emotions and the sort of creation of emotions, like the neurotransmitters, the hormonal balances, and the faith at the soul level. That's sort of where we need to fix those problems, not in our appearances, not in our promotions, and not in our sort of aesthetic senses. Those things can definitely contribute. I think that it's good to get confidence from being beautiful, good to get confidence from having a lot of money. All of those things, there's nothing wrong with that. It's part of the fire element, in fact, and the solar plexus type of activation. But it does kind of, to me, signal with the Devil reversed that if these things are fixing all of your problems, it's not very permanent, and there's always going to sort of be a next layer of that. So just for those of you Sagittarius who are being extremely successful or getting what you want right now, like, congratulations, and allow that to be incredible for you. Like, don't take away from yourself because it's happening, but try to accompany that with like soul breathing and allowing yourself to fix these problems which have been long running aside from that too. So it can kind of be the best of both worlds for you. Into the fourth week, Sagittarius, the Hermit reversed, you're down by King of Pentacles. So at this point in time, by the time we get to the end of February, there's a want to be with people. The solitude is starting to maybe feel like isolation in the fourth week, and perhaps like all these lights that you might be shining into the more dark parts of your psyche aren't as necessary anymore. So it feels like, to kind of contradict what I was saying in the third week, it's funny how this happens, some tangible excess is okay. So allowing your mind to enjoy the new things that you've bought, or to be a bit more surface level with things, isn't so bad. But I feel that's through the awakening and evolution that happens in the third week, which I was sort of contradicting what I just said there. So through what you gain there, you can actually begin to enjoy what you physically have, because again, King of Pentacles deals with tangible possessions, as well as people who are representative of that. So that could be like a masculine Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn energy. King of Pentacles has been coming up so much lately, like in so many readings this month, King of Pentacles was prevalent. So a lot of you are having connections with someone from your past, maybe, who's King of Pentacles, or forming new relationships with King of Pentacles energy. A lot of people are very affected in their path and generation of their reality by King of Pentacles. So I would definitely want to think about, like, how can we sort of step into our own place of creation, really creating from within ourselves and not allowing so many people to dictate it. You guys do have a lot of court card, King of Cups, Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, King of Pentacles coming through. So it does feel like you can be a bit distracted or a bit convinced or bled off on energetically by other people. And always with court cards, sometimes I interpret it as versions of yourself or people around you. I mean, it's going to depend on you personally. But up until the 4th week of February, it's good to be a bit more to yourself. But then there needs to be kind of a direct transition, specifically as we're moving into equinox time, March 21st, of allowing yourself to be among other people and learning from other people. Because again, Sag is kind of a social sign. Very philosophical, very philanthropic energy. So you're not really very suited for isolation, but it's happened a lot over the last few years with Saturn in your sign. So how can you integrate what you've learned about healthy solitude without bringing it to isolation? I do feel like you'll be meeting beautiful people, people who could be part of your soul tribe, specifically starting in March. Again, there's it's like you're driving into that. The chariot is your central theme, Sag. What a wonderful sort of injection of energy there. I know that what's sort of behind it all as we're going through the week to week in February is a little bit more difficult to handle and sort of reminiscent of what we've been through with Saturn. But I mean, it has to be, this is February for everyone, is the month where we let go and purge what's happened over the last year. So you still have a little bit to face there, but it's beautiful to have the chariot combining it all, because you will face it here in February. And then you will kind of transport yourself into the next chapter and into the next path, which seems really, really incredible, really exciting, beautiful, benevolent, and, it's not perfect. And no one's experience of life is perfect. So that at the same time doesn't mean that it can't be beautiful or benevolent. And try to find something inanimate too, Sages. I tell that to all of my Sages. It's like, try to not rely too much on other people. Try to have something of a backup plan or contingency plan if things don't go exactly the way that you think that they will. But overall, Sages, it's incredible, and I'm excited to see what's coming forward, and your journey is going to be so catalyzed, beautiful to watch as well. And I'm just so excited for you guys to finally get some motion too. Again, you're a fire sign. You need that motion. You need that sort of experience of running and your blood pumping. Allow yourself some exercise. Be physical this month. That will be helpful as well if you can. And also thinking about the health and diet. That's sort of there too. It's been there for a while for Sag. Trying to really align things and perhaps establish some kind of routine and lifestyle could be good in February as well, but specifically kind of creating that for March, because again, it's not the best time for new beginnings, but sort of allow your mind to go there. Anyway, Sages, I've so enjoyed to give this reading to you in what sort of feels like a kaleidoscope type of month for you. Very beautiful, very star connected. If you would like to get a personal reading from me to understand your own path throughout this sort of energy, you can click the center of your screen now. You can also check your playlist to the right to see the sun, moon, rising sign, and you can subscribe, like, and comment to this video if it feels right, if you guys have enjoyed this content. Anyway, there are also links in the description box for social media, as well as my Patreon page to get these readings early and ad-free. Much love, Sages, and I will be speaking to you soon. Bye.